First of all, I'd like to thank our fans for coming out and supporting us tonight. Had a great crowd here. Fought the elements all night, all day, and then into the late afternoon with the weather. But we're fortunate enough to be able to get a good night of weather and play the baseball game. And give a lot of credit to South Carolina. They played a great baseball game tonight. They had the big inning in the second inning. Brooks, scuffled a little bit, left some balls out over the plate. And they've got a very powerful offense. Hopkins and Iser, those guys, we made some mistakes to them, and they hit it out of the ballpark, put together a big inning. And after that, I give our guys a lot of credit. Our bullpen was outstanding. Matt Clark, Owen Griffith, Travis Marr, those guys threw the ball very, very well. Gave us a chance to get back in the game, and I was proud of our offense. We hit the 2-run homer in the first. Had our opportunities in the second. That was tough. We had bases loaded with 1 out, didn't get anything out of that. But we found a way to get back in the game. We were down 5-2, scored a single run in the third and the fourth to make it 5-4. And then Brett Carey came into the ball game. And, he deserves a lot of credit as well because he was awfully good. He did a good job of just shutting us down offensively. Felt like we needed to be more aggressive. The fourth time through the order, too many strikeouts, but you have to give Brett Carey some credit for that as well. He executed pitches, and he did a very good job. I just felt like we needed to be a little more aggressive and make him earn it a little bit more than we did, but he deserves some credit. It was a very close ball game. You look at the hits by each club. You look at the amount of quality at bats on each side. It was a very close ball game. The bottom line is big innings in baseball tend to get you beat, and they had one big inning, and that was the difference in the game. And hopefully we can try to make some adjustments tomorrow offensively and do a little better job and find a way to score runs. But give credit to South Carolina. That was they were the better team tonight.
You have so many freshmen playing big roles on this team. Is there ever a concern when those guys go away from home for the first time?
Not really. I mean, they're going to have to play regardless at some point. They're going to have to play on the road. They're going to have to play in a tough environment at some point. I mean, that's what, coming to a program like Clemson is all about. You come here to play in a great series like this one in front of huge crowds and in those types of environments. So it's not really a concern of mine. It is what it is. They're going to have to be thrown into the fire at some point, and they certainly will get that opportunity to do that this weekend.
Monte, you guys have been in this position before in this series the past couple of years. What do you tell your team after the message to try to bounce back again?
Well, we just told them, look, the bottom line is tomorrow is the only game that really matters in this series for us. We need to play our best baseball game tomorrow. Because we got to find a way to get back into it. So, and we shared that with them. And we use past history. I mean, we've done it in the past to give the guys, obviously, they've had that experience. A lot of guys on this team have had that experience of being down 1-0 and finding a way to win the second game and get them back in the series. That being said, we got to play a good game. We know that Harley is a power lefty. He's going to be a tough matchup for us, but we got a pretty good freshman going ourselves and Davis needs to be at his best tomorrow to give us a chance. We got plenty of bullpen options, and we just need to put together a good game plan and put together a good game and let this game go. It's going to be a quick turnaround and see what happens.
What did you see out of Carey? Did he do anything kind of surprising you?
Not really. I mean, we watched him on video. I mean, we studied him as hard as we could, and he did exactly what we thought he was going to do. We recruited him out of high school too, and he's a strike throwing machine. I mean, that's what he is. He's just a guy that he commands his fastball and his breaking ball really good, and we tried our best to get our guys in the mindset of, hey, you got to be super aggressive with this guy because he is going to come right after you and he's going to fill up the strike zone. And I felt like we were a little bit too passive against a guy like that who you don't want to get to 2 strikes to because he's got a really good breaking ball. His fastball, he can throw it at the top of the strike zone. He keeps it out of the middle of the plate. He executed his fastball, and he was pretty dang good. We knew between Trinjali and Carey that and those two guys are very different. But we knew that they were going to be tough matchups, and we needed to have a good plan and an approach. And again, Carey was very, very good.
What did you see from Clark to kind of keep you guys
Clark just being Clark. I mean, Matt Clark is funny. Matt Clark's one of those guys, if you looked at his stats, if you just looked at his stats, you would think he's, 6'5" and throws 92. But man, can he pitch. And he's just he's as cool as a cucumber out there. I don't even know if his heart beats when he's out there. He's just a really, really mellowed out kid. And that's one thing, I've recruited Matt Clark in high school, seen him for years and years, do it over and over and over again. He just wins. He's a winner. But he can really pitch. He moves his fastball up and down, in and out. He's got a good breaking ball. He was awfully good for us tonight, and wish we could have gave him some offense in the back half of that game.
Coach Michael Green had a big game in the opener. Kind of struggled a little bit at the plate lately, but had the 2 hits today and tattooed another one to the fence.
Well, it was great to see that out of Michael. We're very high on Michael Green. Feel like he's going to be a very good player for us. He got off to a little bit of a tough start. But he worked really hard this week to try to make some adjustments with his swing and his approach, and it's paid off. But the one thing about Michael, even going into today, he only had 2 strikeouts. So he's putting some balls in play, just wasn't squaring the ball up, and squared some balls up tonight, and hopefully we can get him going.
Coach, just no stolen bases tonight. You tried a couple of times, but that's been such a big part of your offense. How much did that hurt your offense?
Well, it didn't really hurt us. You have to give South Carolina credit. I mean, they made some adjustments as well. Majinski was quick to the plate. Their pitchers were very quick to the plate, and they picked a ton. And we knew that. We knew going into this game that, looking at our team, they were going to try to do everything they could to shut down the running game. Their pitchers were going to be quicker to the plate, which they were. He was a 1-0 to a 1-1 to the plate. We were trying to pick certain counts where we thought he was going to throw breaking balls to run. And the thing is, he did. He threw breaking balls on the stolen base attempts, and you got to give Barry Hill credit. He made good throws. We didn't get great jumps because their pitching staff was quick to the plate, and we guessed right. We picked the right pitch to go on, but Barry Hill made some good throws.
Monte, just thought of taking Matt out when you did. Was it more his pitch count and going through the lineup again, or more to save him for maybe later?
Quite honestly, it was neither. We took him out of the ball game because of the matchup. They had 3 right-handers in a row, and we felt like the meat of their order, we wanted to bring Owen in. Owen's got a real good breaking ball, and he's got a fastball that plays up a little bit. And, we felt like we didn't want, at that time, I believe we brought him in. I think he faced Allen, and then I'm not sure. I know he faced Hopkins, Barry Hill, Olsen, those guys there in the middle. So we just felt like with those right-handers in a row that we wanted to bring Owen in and let him face those guys.
Anything else?
Recruiting Kerry, you said you recruited him in high school. How much different is his stuff maybe now, a year later from when you were?
He's just stronger. It's not really that different. He's a North Carolina kid. His stuff was pretty good in high school too. He didn't throw quite as hard as he does now, and his breaking ball, wasn't quite as firm. But I mean, you could see it then. He was, kind of an upper 80s guy that just, again, he pounded the strike zone with a good breaking ball.